Welcome, and thank you for being here tonight. We're going to spend some quiet time with gentle, reassuring truths about dogs, how they sense the world, how they rest, and how they connect with us. If you'd like to support the channel before you get too sleepy, you can softly like, subscribe, or leave a small comment, and then let yourself relax. Adult dogs often sleep around 12 to 14 hours in a day, which can feel surprising until you remember how much of their work is done in short bursts, walking, sniffing, playing, listening, and then recovering. Sleep for a dog isn't laziness. It's a normal, healthy rhythm that helps their muscles repair, their brains reset, and their emotions settle. Many dogs will naturally balance their day with restful pauses, especially when their basic needs are met. Instead of sleeping in one long, unbroken stretch the way many humans try to, dogs often spread their rest into multiple naps. This pattern fits an animal that evolved to be ready to notice changes in the environment, even while resting. It also means a dog can wake, check what's happening, and drift back to sleep without needing a full night of sleep every time. In a calm home, these naps can become beautifully regular. A dog's sleep needs are not fixed by breed alone, because age, daily activity, and the environment all matter. A dog that explored new places, sniffed a lot, or learned something challenging may need more rest afterward. Temperature, noise, and comfort also affect how deeply a dog sleeps. Over time, many dogs adjust their sleep to match the household's rhythm. Dogs can enter REM sleep, which is one reason you might see little paw twitches, whisker movements, or tiny facial expressions during a nap. REM is a sleep stage associated with intense brain activity in many animals, including memory processing. Those small movements can be a sign that the nervous system is doing normal, healthy work, while the body stays mostly still. It's one of the quiet reminders that dogs have rich inner lives, even in rest. Puppies often sleep a great deal because sleep supports both brain development and physical growth. Their bodies are building tissues, strengthening bones, and shaping new neural pathways at a fast pace. Rest is part of how a puppy's learning settles in, like saving information after a busy day. That is one reason short play sessions followed by naps are so common in young dogs. Many older dogs nap more because recovery and maintenance simply take more energy with age. Joints may need extra time to loosen and recover, and the nervous system can become more sensitive to stimulation. Longer rest doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. It can be a normal adjustment to a slower, gentler pace. Comfort and consistency become especially valuable for seniors. Large dogs often sleep more than small dogs, partly because their energy use, movement patterns, and recovery needs can differ. A larger body can take more effort to move and more time to fully relax after activity. Some large dogs are also bred for calmer temperaments, which can pair naturally with longer resting periods. Individual differences still matter, but the general trend is commonly observed. Dogs can wake quickly from light sleep to respond to sound, scents, or movement, which is part of how they stay safe. Their senses keep sampling the environment, even when they seem deeply relaxed. That quick check-in wakefulness can be brief sometimes, just a glance or ear flick followed by returning to rest. In a stable home, many dogs learn they don't need to stay alert for long. Dogs have far more smell-sensitive receptors than humans, often described in the range of roughly 125 million up to nearly 300 million, depending on the dog and breed. What this means in daily life is that a dog's world is layered with information that people cannot perceive. Smell helps them identify individuals, track changes in a place, and notice details that would be invisible to us. For a dog, scent is not just a smell, but a rich map of what happened and who passed by. Dogs can sniff in rapid bursts, which helps them continuously sample new scent information. This quick sniffing lets them pull in fresh air, analyze it, and then adjust their next sniff based on what they're learning. It's a bit like scanning a page quickly and then slowing down when something interesting appears. The rhythm of sniffing is part of how a dog turns air into meaningful data. A dog's mobile nostrils help it determine the direction of a scent trail. By slightly changing airflow and using subtle differences between the two nostrils, dogs can gather clues about where an odor is stronger. This is one reason many dogs zigzag when tracking. They are sampling, comparing, and refining direction. It's a quiet example of how the body and brain work together to solve a problem. Dogs also use a vomeronasal organ to detect certain social chemical cues. This system can help them pick up information related to other animals, including signals that may not be processed in the same way through ordinary smell. It adds another layer to how dogs interpret their social world. Even when we can't see it happening, their biology is tuned for communication through scent. The part of a dog's brain devoted to scent analysis is proportionally large compared with humans. This reflects just how central smell is to their daily understanding of the world. When a dog pauses to sniff, they are not wasting time there, engaging a major sensory system that shapes decisions and emotions. In many dogs, sniffing is a form of mental work. Scent hounds have been selectively bred for tracking, which is why many of them excel in odor-based work. Over generations, humans favored dogs that noticed scent quickly, stayed focused, and followed trails with persistence. This careful selection shaped both behavior and sensory strengths. It's part of why certain breeds seem almost magnetized to the ground on a walk. Dogs often have a wet nose, and that moisture can help trap scent particles, making smell sampling more effective. A damp surface can hold odor molecules long enough for the dog to analyze them more clearly. The nose is also active and sensitive, constantly interacting with the environment. It's a small detail with a big impact on how a dog experiences the world. Dogs often taste scents by licking their noses, moving odor molecules towards sensory pathways. Licking can help redistribute moisture, and it can bring scent compounds into contact with structures that help interpret chemical information. This is one reason nose licking can appear when a dog is focused on something interesting. It can be part of active investigation, not only a simple habit. Dogs can recognize familiar people partly through scent signatures that include influences from diet, hormones, and environment. Every person has a unique mix of odor cues, and dogs can learn them over time. This can help explain why a dog may recognize someone even if that person changes clothes or looks different. For dogs, identity is often carried in scent. Dogs' color vision is typically dichromatic, often compared to how a red-green colorblind human may perceive color. They don't see the same range of hues that humans do, but their vision is still useful and meaningful. Their world isn't colorless, it's simply organized differently. They rely on contrast, motion, and brightness in ways that fit their needs. Dogs generally distinguish blues and yellows better than reds and greens. This can affect which toys are easier to notice on certain backgrounds, like grass or sand. A toy that looks bright to a person might blend in for a dog, while another that seems ordinary to us might stand out more clearly to them. It's a gentle reminder that obvious depends on whose eyes are looking. Many dogs have improved low-light vision compared with humans because of eye anatomy that supports dim light sensitivity. This helps them navigate at dawn, dusk, or in shadowed spaces. It doesn't mean they see perfectly in darkness, but they often need less light than we do to move confidently. Their senses work as a team, with smell and hearing filling in details. The tapetum lucidum contributes to the eye shine you might see when light hits a dog's eyes at night. This reflective layer helps bounce light back through the retina, giving the eye another chance to capture it. that can improve vision in low light, especially when paired with other adaptations. Eyeshine looks dramatic, but it's simply biology doing its quiet job. Dogs hear higher frequencies than humans, allowing them to detect many high-pitched sounds people cannot hear. This sensitivity is useful for noticing small movements, distant noises, or subtle changes in the environment. It also explains why some sounds that seem mild to us can be very noticeable to a dog. A calm environment often feels calmer to them, too. Dogs can localize sounds using tiny differences in timing and loudness between their ears. Their brains compare what each ear receives, helping them estimate direction. This is why a dog may suddenly orient their head toward a sound you barely noticed. It's a fast, automatic calculation that supports awareness and safety. Dogs may tilt their heads to change how sound enters the ear canal and to improve interpretation. The head tilt can slightly alter sound angles, helping the dog decide what a noise means and where it is coming from. It can also happen when dogs are focused on human speech patterns and trying to understand. What looks cute is often simply attention at work. Mutual gaze between many dogs and their owners can increase oxytocin levels in both, reinforcing bonding. This means that calmly looking at one another can strengthen the social connection over time. It's not just a feeling, it can be linked to measurable biological changes. In many homes, this gaze becomes a quiet, repeated signal of safety. In related research, wolves did not show the same oxytocin response pattern with humans that many dogs do. This difference helps highlight how domestication shaped dogs' social connection with people. Over long periods, dogs that cooperated and communicated well with humans were more likely to thrive. The result is an animal that often finds comfort in human attention and calm contact. Dogs communicate a lot through body posture, including weight shifts, head position, and muscle tension. A relaxed dog often looks soft in the shoulders and face, while a tense dog may look stiff or ready. These signals can appear before any sound is made. Learning to notice them helps interactions stay gentle and predictable. Tail wagging is not a simple happy signal because it can vary with context, speed, and stiffness. A loose wag may suggest friendly openness, while a fast, tight wag might signal arousal that could be excitement or tension. The tail is one piece of a bigger picture that includes posture, ears, and facial expression. Dogs communicate in combinations, not single signs. Dogs can show left-right asymmetry in tail wagging in response to different social stimuli. This means the direction of wagging can sometimes reflect different emotional states or motivations. It's a subtle layer of communication that most people never think about. Even small movements can carry information in a social animal. Dogs form social attachments and can show distress when separated from attachment figures. This is not being stubborn, it's a natural response in a species built for social connection. Many dogs feel most secure when they know where their trusted people are. With training and routine, many also learn that separations are temporary and safe. Enrichment, such as sniff walks, puzzles, and training, can reduce boredom-related behaviors. Mental work can be tiring in a good way, like using the brain gently and then settling afterward. Enrichment also gives dogs appropriate outlets for instincts like searching and problem-solving. When needs are met, rest often comes more easily. Gentle, reward-based training tends to build trust and clearer communication. When a dog understands that learning brings good outcomes, they can approach challenges with more confidence. This can reduce stress and increase cooperation in daily life. Over time, training can become a calm conversation rather than a struggle. Dogs learn by association, and timing of reinforcement strongly affects what they think they're being rewarded for. If a reward comes too late, a dog may connect it with the wrong action. Clear timing helps dogs learn smoothly, without confusion. This is one reason short, well-timed sessions often work best. Dogs can generalize poorly, meaning A, sit learned in one place may not instantly transfer to a new place. For a dog, context matters. The sights, smells, and sounds can change how familiar a cue feels. With practice in different settings, dogs learn that the cue means the same thing everywhere. This is a normal learning process, not a sign of disobedience. Dogs read human pointing gestures better than many other animals do. This skill supports cooperation and shared attention, like look over there without words. It's one reason dogs can fit smoothly into human life. They often track what we're directing them toward. In many cases, they learn to trust our signals. Domestic dogs likely became distinct from wolves through a long process of domestication shaped by human environments. This wasn't a single moment, but a gradual change across many generations. Dogs that tolerated people, found food near human settlements, and cooperated were more likely to succeed. Over time, this shaped behavior, social traits, and appearance. The Bonner Castle find is a well-known early dog-human burial dated to around 1,223 years before present. Finds like this suggest that humans and dogs formed close relationships very early in shared history. A burial indicates meaning and connection, not merely usefulness. It's a quiet historical clue that companionship has deep roots. Dogs spread globally with people adapting to many climates and roles. As humans traveled, dogs traveled too, learning new environments and tasks. This is part of why dogs are so varied today, from cold weather working dogs to small companion breeds. Their flexibility is one of their most remarkable traits. Selective breeding in recent centuries greatly amplified physical and behavioral diversity across breeds. By choosing for specific looks and abilities, humans shaped dogs into many forms very quickly. This created specialized dogs for herding, guarding, retrieving, and companionship. It also means breed tendencies exist, while individual dogs still remain unique. Dogs cool themselves primarily by panting rather than sweating across the whole body. Panting moves air rapidly over moist surfaces, which helps heat leave the body through evaporation. It's a simple, effective system, but it also means airflow and hydration matter a lot. When panting is relaxed and steady, it's often just normal temperature management. Dogs do have sweat glands, but much of the cooling sweat is limited to the paw pads. That's why you can sometimes see damp paw prints on warm surfaces. This sweating is not their main cooling tool, but it contributes. It also shows that paws are not just for walking, they are part of the dog's temperature system. A typical resting heart rate in dogs is often described around 70 to 120 beats per minute, with variation by size and situation. Heart rate shifts with excitement, stress, and fitness level. In a calm home, many dogs show a steady, comfortable rhythm. The heart is responsive, adjusting quickly to what the dog is feeling and doing. Smaller dogs often have faster resting heart rates than larger dogs. This is common across many animals, where smaller bodies tend to run faster in metabolism. It doesn't mean small dogs are unhealthy, it's simply how their physiology often works. Knowing this helps people interpret what normal looks like for different dogs. Dogs have specialized whiskers, called vibrissae, that provide detailed touch information. These whiskers detect tiny changes in airflow and contact, helping dogs sense objects close to the face. They are part of how a dog navigates and explores, especially in dim light. Whiskers are not decoration, they are sensory tools. Whiskers are connected to follicles rich in nerves and blood supply, which makes them highly sensitive. When a whisker brushes something, the signal is quickly sent to the brain. This sensitivity helps dogs judge space without needing to bump into objects. It's a quiet technology built into the body. Whiskers can assist navigation in low light by warning a dog about nearby obstacles. When vision gives limited detail, whiskers add extra information about what is close. This can help a dog move confidently even when the room is dim. It's one more example of senses working together. Dogs use scent marking to communicate presence and timing to other dogs. A scent mark can say, in a chemical way, "I was here," and sometimes this is familiar territory. Other dogs may sniff and learn information without any direct meeting. It's like a neighborhood message board written in smell. Wind direction can dramatically change how dogs search for odors. A scent can drift, pool, or scatter depending on airflow, which changes how a dog moves while tracking. That's why a dog might lift their nose and adjust direction, even if the target is the same. Tracking is a conversation between scent and air. Dogs can be trained for search and rescue by pairing human scent with reward. Over time, the dog learns that finding a person leads to praise, play, or another positive outcome. Training builds persistence, focus, and teamwork with handlers. It turns natural scent skill into reliable help in real situations. Assistance dogs can learn complex routines like retrieving items, opening doors, and guiding. These skills can reduce daily barriers for people and increase independence. Training is built gradually, with clear steps and many repetitions. What looks effortless later is the result of careful learning and steady trust. Therapy dogs provide comfort largely through calm presence, not by trying to solve problems. Their steadiness can help people feel less alone and more grounded. Many therapy dogs are chosen for their gentle temperament and ability to remain relaxed around new environments. Sometimes comfort is simply being there. Dogs can show problem solving by trying different actions when a goal is blocked. They may paw, nudge, look around, or seek help from a person. This flexibility shows learning and persistence, especially when reinforced gently. For many dogs, solving a small puzzle is satisfying and tiring in a peaceful way. Dogs are highly adaptable and can learn new routines even after adoption into a new home. With steady patterns and clear expectations, many dogs quickly understand what happens next. Predictability reduces stress and encourages calm behavior. Over time, the new home becomes familiar and safe. Many rescue dogs improve sleep quality as they gain safety, predictability, and trust. In a stable environment, the nervous system can relax more fully. Rest becomes deeper when a dog no longer feels the need to stay vigilant. Quiet routines and gentle care can change how a dog's whole day feels. Comfortable temperature, low noise, and dim light generally support better rest for both dogs and humans. Dogs are sensitive to sound and environmental shifts, so a calm setting can help them settle. When the home becomes quiet, many dogs naturally follow that cue and relax. The simplest comforts often make the biggest difference. Dogs often show contentment by choosing to rest near people without demanding attention. They may lie down nearby, sigh softly, and simply share space. This kind of calm closeness is a common sign of trust. It's companionship without pressure-just presence. A steady daily routine can help many dogs relax into predictable rest cycles because their brains learn what comes next and stop checking for surprises. When meals, walks, play, and quiet time happen in a familiar pattern, the dog's body can match that schedule with calmer energy highs and softer wind downs. Over days and weeks, routines can become signals like evening lights dimming or a certain blanket appearing that it's safe to settle. This kind of predictability often supports smoother naps and calmer nights. A comfortable surface that supports a dog's joints can improve rest, especially for older dogs or dogs with stiffness. Supportive bedding helps reduce pressure on hips, elbows, shoulders, and the spine, which can make it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. If a bed is too thin or too hard, a dog may shift positions frequently to relieve discomfort, which can interrupt rest. Many dogs sleep more soundly when they can fully relax their muscles without bracing against the floor. Sniffing can be mentally enriching because it gives dogs a constant stream of new information, almost like reading updates about the world around them. A single patch of grass can hold layered scent clues who passed by, how long ago, and what they might have been doing. When dogs are allowed to sniff at their own pace, they often appear more satisfied afterward, even if the walk was not physically intense. This mental engagement can help dogs feel pleasantly tired and more ready to rest. Dogs can detect motion very well, which fits an animal that benefits from quickly noticing movement in the environment. Their attention naturally locks onto shifting shapes like a bouncing ball, a running squirrel, or a person walking across a room because movement can signal something important. This sensitivity helps dogs respond quickly during play, training, and everyday life. It can also explain why some dogs react more to moving objects than to still ones. A dog's field of view can vary with skull shape, and longer muzzles often correlate with wider peripheral vision. This means that two dogs can experience the same room a little differently depending on their head and eye placement. Wider peripheral vision can help with noticing movement on the sides, which is useful for tracking and herding-style behaviors. At the same time, differences in facial structure can shape how easily a dog focuses on details straight ahead. Dogs' pupils can change size quickly, which helps them handle different lighting conditions as they move between bright and dim places. In bright light, smaller pupils limit the amount of light entering the eye, protecting sensitive structures and sharpening focus. In low light, wider pupils allow more light in, improving the ability to see shapes and movement. This fast adjustment supports dogs that transition often between outdoors, shadowed hallways, and nighttime rooms. Dogs rely on both vision and smell together, and when these senses give different messages, many dogs will trust scent more. Vision is useful for movement and general layout, but smell provides identity, history, and hidden details. If a dog sees something that looks unfamiliar but smells familiar, scent can reassure them. And if something looks normal but smells strange, they may investigate carefully, because smell suggests a new story is present. Some dogs track familiar objects more by smell than by color, which makes sense given how powerful their scent system is. A toy that seems the same to a human may smell different after being outdoors, handled by another person, or left near food. Dogs can use that odor signature to locate the right item, even if the shape is partly hidden. This is one reason scent-based games often work so well, even with simple objects. For many dogs, visual cues like body posture can be more meaningful than facial details when they are at a distance. A dog may notice whether a person's shoulders are relaxed, whether their movement is steady, and whether their stance looks open or tense. These broader cues are often easier to read from far away than small facial expressions. In dog-to-dog communication, posture and movement patterns can be especially important for avoiding misunderstandings. Dog hearing is sensitive enough that a soft sound can interrupt light sleep, even if it would not wake a human. Small noises like a distant door click, a faint step, or a soft plastic crinkle can register clearly. This doesn't always mean the dog becomes anxious. Often they simply check the sound and then resettle. In a calm environment, many dogs learn that most quiet noises are harmless and return to rest quickly. Ear shape can influence how sound is captured because upright ears can funnel sound differently than floppy ears. Ears that stand more upright can swivel or angle toward a sound source, increasing accuracy in locating it. Floppy ears can slightly dampen or reshape sound entry, though dogs still hear extremely well overall. These differences can subtly affect how dogs react to certain noises and how quickly they orient. Dogs learn the emotional tone of human voices, not only the words themselves, which is why they can respond to mood changes even when the language is unfamiliar. A gentle tone often signals safety and friendliness, while sharp or tense tones can signal urgency or displeasure. Over time, many dogs become experts at noticing patterns in a person's voice when they are relaxed, busy, or excited. This sensitivity helps dogs fit into human social life and adjust their behavior accordingly. Repetitive household noises can fade into the background for many dogs, allowing them to relax even when the home is not perfectly silent. Sounds like a steady fan, consistent traffic noise, or a predictable appliance hum can become normal, so the dog's brain stops treating them as alerts. This is one reason some dogs settle better with constant gentle noise than with sudden silence. Predictability often feels calming to a dog's nervous system. Sudden, irregular noises are more likely to startle dogs than steady sounds, because unpredictability is harder for the brain to classify as safe. A random bang, a sharp beep, or an unexpected drop can trigger an alert response even in confident dogs. The body may tense briefly, ears may lift, and breathing may change as the dog assesses what happened. In many cases, calm human responses and a stable environment help dogs recover quickly after a startle. Some dogs respond strongly to ultrasonic devices, while others ignore them, which shows that sensitivity can differ from one dog to another. The same high-frequency sound may feel intense to one dog and barely noticeable to another. Differences in age, ear structure, and individual hearing ranges can all play a role. This variation is one reason a tool that works for one household may do nothing in another. Hearing sensitivity can decline with age, which may change how an older dog responds to their environment. A senior dog may sleep more deeply through noises they once noticed instantly, or they might startle when touched because they did not hear someone approaching. Some older dogs also become more reliant on visual cues and routines as hearing fades. Clear, gentle signals like approaching calmly and using hand couscan help older dogs stay comfortable. Whiskers help dogs judge space around the face and detect nearby objects without needing to bump into them. When a dog approaches a narrow gap or leans toward an object, whiskers can provide early contact information. This can reduce collisions and improve confidence, especially in dim light. It's a subtle guidance system that supports smooth movement. Whisker position can shift with facial muscles, and those changes can reflect attention and mood. When a dog is curious or focused, whiskers may angle forward slightly as the face becomes more alert. When a dog is relaxed, the whiskers often rest in a softer, neutral position. These shifts are small, but they're part of the overall body language pattern that shows how the dog is feeling. Whiskers may help dogs maintain distance from the ground during tracking and may protect the muzzle when moving through brush or tall grass. When a dog's nose is close to the surface, whiskers can warn about obstacles, rough textures, or sudden contact. This helps the dog keep sniffing without constantly hitting the face against objects. In outdoor environments, that protective function can be very practical. Even hairless dog breeds still have whiskers, though they may be shorter or fewer than in heavily coated breeds. This is a clue that whiskers are considered important enough by biology to keep, even when much of the coat is reduced. They remain part of the sensory toolkit, supporting touch and spatial awareness. Their presence highlights that whiskers are not the same as ordinary fur. Cutting whiskers can temporarily reduce a dog's tactile feedback, similar to dulling of finer touch sense around the face. Without full whisker input, a dog may misjudge space a little or hesitate more in tight areas, especially in low light. Some dogs adjust quickly, but others seem less confident until whiskers regrow. Because whiskers are functional sensors, leaving them intact supports normal navigation. Dogs also use their paw pads as sensitive contact surfaces for texture and temperature, which is why they may pause on a surface that feels too hot, too cold, or too sharp. Pads contain nerves that help a dog decide where it's comfortable to stand or walk. Over time, pads can toughen with gradual exposure to different terrains, changing how sensitive they feel. This tactile information helps dogs move safely and choose comfortable resting spots. The nose itself has tactile sensitivity, which helps dogs explore objects up close, not just smell them. When a dog gently touches something with the nose, they are gathering both scent and touch information at one shape, firmness, and movement. This can be seen when dogs nudge a toy, tap a person's hand, or push a door. It's a quiet way of testing the world through contact. Damp paw prints on a hot day can come from merocrine sweat glands in the pads, which produce watery sweat. This is not the dog's main cooling method, but it can contribute a small amount to heat release. Those damp prints are also a visible reminder that paws are biologically active surfaces, not just tough skin. In warm conditions, dogs often combine this minor sweating with panting and seeking shade. Dogs also have apocrine glands across much of the body, and these contribute more to scent communication than to cooling. Rather than releasing watery sweat for temperature control, these glands can produce secretions that carry chemical signals. Those signals can influence how dogs smell to other animals, including other dogs. In a sense, skin glands help support the dog's social signature. Panting increases evaporation from the tongue and upper airway surfaces, allowing heat to leave the body as water turns into vapor. This is why airflow matters so much for a dog that's warm-moving air improves evaporation efficiency. Panting can look dramatic, but at a normal level it's simply temperature management. When panting becomes excessive or the dog seems distressed, it can signal overheating risk. Shade and airflow help dogs dissipate heat more effectively than still air, because cooler surroundings reduce heat gain and moving air improves evaporation. A shaded area can drop the environmental heat load significantly compared with direct sun. Airflow weather from a breeze or a fan helps carry away warm, moist air near the dog's mouth during panting. Together, shade and airflow support more comfortable cooling. Thick coats can insulate against both cold and heat, depending on coat type and grooming. Insulation works by trapping air, which slows heat transfer in either direction. A well-maintained coat can help stabilize body temperature, while matted fur can trap heat unevenly and reduce airflow to the skin. Coat structure is a thermal system, and comfort often improves when grooming supports that system. Dogs can overheat quickly in enclosed, poorly ventilated spaces, even if it doesn't feel extremely hot to humans. Without airflow, panting becomes less effective because warm, humid air builds up around the dog. Heat can rise rapidly in small spaces, and the dog has fewer options to move toward cooler surfaces. This is why ventilation and the ability to change locations are important for safety. Hydration supports cooling because evaporation requires water, and panting depends on moisture in the mouth and airways. When a dog is dehydrated, cooling becomes less efficient, and the body may struggle to manage temperature. Adequate water helps maintain normal circulation as well, which moves heat from the core toward surfaces where it can be released. In warm weather, water access is a simple but powerful support for comfort. Some dogs seek cool surfaces like tile or soil to conduct heat away from their bodies. When a dog lies on a cooler surface, heat moves from the warmer body into the cooler material. This is conduction, and it can be very effective, especially when combined with shade and rest. You may notice dogs stretching out on cool floors because more body surface contact helps release more heat. Heart rate tends to be higher in puppies than in adult dogs, reflecting growth, metabolism, and developing systems. A puppy's body is working hard to build tissues and regulate itself, which can keep the heart beating faster at rest. As dogs mature, resting heart rate often decreases, though it still varies by size and individual physiology. Knowing that puppies can have faster rhythms helps people interpret what's normal for age. Many dogs show a lower resting heart rate when calm in a familiar home environment than they do in a clinic. New environments can raise alertness and stress, which naturally increases heart rate. Even a gentle veterinary visit can create excitement or uncertainty that shifts physiology. At home, where signals are familiar, many dogs settle into a more relaxed baseline. Stress and excitement can raise heart rate quickly, even without physical exertion, because the body prepares for action. This response is part of the nervous system's way of increasing readiness. More blood flow, more oxygen delivery, faster reaction time. You might see it when a dog anticipates a walk, hears a doorbell, or meets a favorite person. When the exciting moment passes, calm routines help the heart rate return to baseline. Dogs' breathing patterns and heart rhythms can fluctuate together at rest, reflecting how the body balances oxygen needs and calmness. When breathing slows and becomes steady, heart rhythm often becomes steadier as well. Gentle rest supports this coordinated settling. It's one reason relaxed breathing is such a clear signal of comfort in dogs. Regular, moderate exercise supports cardiovascular health and can improve restfulness by giving the body a healthy reason to recover. Movement strengthens the heart muscle, supports circulation, and helps regulate weight, all of which can make resting more comfortable. Exercise also reduces built-up energy that might otherwise appear as pacing or restlessness. When exercise is balanced, neither too little nor too intense, many dogs settle more easily afterward. A relaxed dog's breathing is usually quiet, with smooth chest movement and minimal effort, which is a simple outward sign of comfort. You may see the abdomen and ribs rise gently in a slow rhythm. The mouth may be closed or slightly open without tension. This kind of easy breathing often appears when the dog feels safe and the environment is steady. Dogs can synchronize their activity with household rhythms, becoming calmer when the environment is calm. Over time, many dogs learn when the home is lively and when it is quiet, and they adjust their energy accordingly. This synchronizing is not only a habit, it's a social skill, aligning with the group's pattern. It's one reason many dogs become sleepy when the household settles down. Gentle, predictable handling can reduce physiological arousal over time because it teaches the dog what to expect. When touch is consistent, respectful, and not surprising, the dog's nervous system can stay calmer. Predictability lowers the need for vigilance, which supports relaxation. For many dogs, this builds trust that carries into other situations, like grooming or meeting visitors. Many dogs seek proximity to familiar people as a safety and comfort behavior, much like choosing the most secure point in their environment. Being near a trusted person can reduce uncertainty and help the dog feel protected. Some dogs rest better when they can see or hear their person nearby. This closeness often becomes part of the dog's resting routine. Calm petting can lower stress signals in some dogs, especially when the dog chooses the contact and enjoys the location being touched. Slow, steady strokes can help relax muscles and support a calmer breathing rhythm. However, the effect depends on the individual dog's preference and comfort level. When the dog leans in softly and stays loose, petting is often experienced as soothing. Dogs differ widely in how much physical contact they enjoy, and respecting those differences supports trust and calmness. Some dogs love cuddling, while others prefer to rest near you without being touched. Body language like leaning in, soft eyes, and relaxed posture can show consent, while turning away or stiffening can show discomfort. When contact matches preference, dogs often settle more easily. A dog leaning gently into a person can be an associative behavior, meaning it often reflects comfort and social connection. Leaning can also be a way to seek support in uncertain moments, using touch as reassurance. Context matters, because leaning could also occur when a dog is crowded or tense. But in a calm setting, a soft lean with relaxed muscles commonly signals trust. Slow blinking and soft facial muscles often indicate relaxation in dogs, similar to how a human face softens when calm. Ears may rest naturally rather than being tightly forward or pinned back. The mouth may look loose, sometimes with a gentle, open expression, without tension. These small cues help you recognize when a dog feels safe enough to rest. Some dogs prefer to rest with their back against a wall or furniture, which can feel more secure because it reduces what they need to monitor. When one side is protected, the dog can relax without feeling exposed from all directions. This is similar to how many animals choose resting spots that offer a sense of shelter. It can be a simple comfort preference, not necessarily a sign of fear. Many dogs choose sleeping positions that balance warmth, comfort, and alertness, adjusting as conditions change. Curling can conserve heat and protect the belly, while stretching out can release heat and relax muscles. Some dogs sleep on their side when they feel especially safe, while others choose a posture that allows quicker movement. These choices reflect both physical comfort and emotional security. A loose, whole-body wag often signals friendly intent more than a stiff, high tail, because the entire body stays relaxed rather than tense. When the hips and shoulders move softly with the wag, it often indicates openness and social ease. A stiff wag can signal high arousal that might not be purely friendly. Looking at the whole posture softness, balance, and facial expression gives a clearer message. A tucked tail can indicate fear, uncertainty, or discomfort because the dog is trying to make itself smaller and protect vulnerable areas. This tail position often appears alongside other signals like lowered posture, pinned ears, or avoidance. It's not bad behavior, it's communication. Responding with space, calm voice, and gentle movements can help the dog feel safer. Yawning can appear as a calming signal in social situations, not only as tiredness, because it can help regulate arousal. Dogs may yawn when tension rises, during training, or around unfamiliar interactions. The yawn can be part of the dog's attempt to stay calm and signal non-threat. Watching the full context helps distinguish between sleepiness and stress regulation. Lip licking can indicate anticipation, stress, or appeasement, depending on context, because it can serve multiple functions. A dog might lick lips when food is expected, but also when feeling uncertain or trying to reduce social tension. It can be a small "please be calm" signal, especially if repeated quickly. When paired with other signs like turning away or lowered posture, it often points to discomfort. A play bow is a common signal that indicates playful intent, helping prevent misunderstandings by saying, in body language, "This is a game." The dog lowers the front end and keeps the rear up, often with a loose wag and bouncy movement afterward. This cue can appear before chasing, wrestling, or tugging. It's a simple but powerful way dogs keep play friendly. Dogs often pause and shake off after stressful moments as a reset behavior, releasing tension through a full-body shake. You may see it after a vet visit, a startling noise, or even after intense play. The shake can help the dog return to a calmer state by clearing leftover arousal from the body. After shaking off, many dogs resume normal behavior more smoothly. Sniffing the ground can function as both self-soothing and information gathering, giving the dog something structured to focus on while also reading the environment. In social situations, a dog may sniff to avoid direct confrontation while still staying engaged. The act of sniffing can slow breathing and reduce tension, especially when the dog is allowed to control the pace. It's a gentle coping tool built into natural behavior. Many dogs benefit from predictable departure and arrival routines because consistency reduces uncertainty around separations. When leaving looks calm and ordinary, the dog learns it's not an emergency. When returning is also calm and not overly dramatic, it supports steady emotional regulation. Over time, predictable routines can help the dog feel secure that people come and go in a normal, safe pattern. Dogs can benefit from enrichment like sniff walks, puzzle feeders, and short training games because these activities engage the brain in a gentle, structured way. When the dog's mind has something meaningful to do, it often reduces boredom behaviors like pacing, whining, or chewing the wrong objects. Enrichment also satisfies natural instincts, searching, investigating, solving small problems without needing intense physical activity. For many dogs, a mentally satisfying day leads to a calmer, easier rest later. Gentle training that uses rewards tends to build trust because the dog learns that learning is safe and predictable. Instead of guessing what might upset a person, the dog discovers clear this work's paths and repeats them with confidence. Over time, reward-based training can make communication feel calmer because the dog understands how to succeed. That sense of clarity often supports relaxation, especially in sensitive dogs. Dogs learn strongly through association, which means the timing of a reward or response matters more than people realize. If a treat comes at the exact moment the dog does the right thing, the dog links the action to the outcome. If the reward comes too late, the dog might connect it to something else, like standing up or looking away. Precise timing helps learning stay smooth and reduces frustration for both dog and human. Short training sessions often work better than long ones because many dogs lose focus when practice continues too long. A few minutes of clear, successful repetition can be more effective than a long session that ends in confusion. Ending while the dog is still engaged helps preserve enthusiasm for next time. This gentle approach supports a calmer learning process overall. Dogs can generalize poorly, meaning a cue learned in one place may not automatically apply in another place without practice. A sit at home might feel easy, but a sit in a park may feel like a different task because the smells, sights, and sounds are new. Dogs often need to learn cues in multiple environments to truly understand them as universal. This is normal learning, not stubbornness. Dogs read human pointing gestures unusually well compared with many other animals, which supports cooperation in everyday life. When a person points, many dogs naturally follow the direction and look for what the person is indicating. Visibility helps with games, training, and practical tasks like guiding a dog away from danger. It's one reason dogs can fit so smoothly into human communication patterns. Some dogs can learn hundreds of words or object names with consistent practice, showing impressive memory and discrimination. This isn't common for every dog, but it demonstrates what canine learning can look like at its upper range. These dogs aren't just reacting to tone, they can match specific sounds to specific items. With gentle repetition, many dogs can learn smaller sets of words reliably too. Dogs respond to routines because routines reduce uncertainty and make the world feel predictable. When a dog can anticipate what happens next walk, food, rest, bedtime, it doesn't need to stay on alert for surprises. Predictability can lower stress and support calm behavior throughout the day. Over time, routine becomes a quiet signal that life is stable. Dogs have two sets of teeth during life, a first set of baby teeth and a second set of adult teeth. This transition is part of normal development and affects behavior because the mouth can feel sensitive during changes. Teething can increase a puppy's need to chew as the gums shift and adult teeth come in. Understanding this helps people redirect chewing to appropriate items instead of punishing a natural phase. Puppies typically begin teething early in life, which is why chew needs can suddenly become intense. Chewing provides pressure and stimulation that can feel relieving to sore gums. It's also how puppies explore and learn the texture of the world. Providing safe chew options helps meet the need while protecting household items. Chewing can be self-soothing for dogs, not only for puppies but also for many adults. The act of chewing can release tension and provide a steady, rhythmic activity that helps the dog settle. Long-lasting chews can function like a calming routine, especially in the evening. When managed safely, chewing often supports relaxation. Dental health can affect overall health because chronic gum inflammation can contribute to broader inflammation in the body. When teeth and gums are painful, a dog may eat differently, sleep less comfortably, or become irritable. Good dental care supports comfort and steady behavior. Even mild mouth pain can change how relaxed a dog feels. Regular tooth care can reduce tartar buildup and lower the risk of periodontal disease, which is common in dogs. Tartar can irritate gums and create pockets where bacteria thrive. Over time, that irritation can become painful and affect eating and mood. Gentle, consistent dental care often prevents bigger problems later. Many dogs prefer different chewing textures, and having choices can reduce destructive chewing. One dog may like rubbery chews, another may prefer fibrous textures, and another may enjoy crunchy, edible chews. Matching texture to preference makes chewing more satisfying. When a dog has satisfying options, they're less likely to seek replacement objects like shoes or furniture. Dogs' tongues help with lapping water efficiently, using a fast curling motion that pulls water upward. The tongue doesn't scoop water like a ladle, it flicks and draws water into the mouth in a rapid rhythm. This method is quick and effective, especially for an animal that may drink in short bursts. Watching it closely shows a precise, practiced movement. Dogs can drink quickly but may gulp air too, which can lead to burping or mild discomfort afterward. Fast drinking can happen when a dog is very thirsty, excited, or used to competition around water. Some dogs benefit from calmer water access or bowls designed to slow gulping. Comfortable drinking supports comfortable digestion. Some dogs are prone to motion sickness, especially as puppies, because balance and sensory systems are still developing. Motion sickness can cause drooling, nausea, or reluctance to enter a car. Many dogs improve as they grow, but some remain sensitive. Gentle conditioning and calm car routines can help reduce stress around travel. Digestive tolerance varies between dogs, and sudden diet changes can cause diarrhea because the gut needs time to adjust. The digestive system relies on a balance of enzymes and microbes that adapt to what the dog eats. When food changes abruptly, that balance can be disrupted. Gradual transitions often help the system adjust more comfortably. A dog's coat is made of different structures, commonly including guard hairs and undercoat, and the balance varies by breed. Guard hairs help protect from dirt and moisture, while undercoats can provide insulation by trapping air. Coat design reflects the jobs and climates dogs were historically shaped for. Coat type influences grooming needs and comfort. Double coats trap air, which can insulate in winter and also buffer heat in summer when maintained properly. The trapped air acts like a temperature stabilizer, slowing heat transfer in either direction. However, mats and dense tangles can disrupt airflow and create uncomfortable hot spots. Grooming supports the coat's natural temperature function. Seasonal shedding often reflects changing daylight and temperature cues rather than only how hot it feels. As seasons shift, the body adjusts coat density to match upcoming weather patterns. This is why shedding can appear even in indoor dogs, though indoor lighting can alter patterns. Shedding is a normal biological cycle, not a flaw. Grooming removes loose hair and can distribute skin oils through the coat, which supports coat health and comfort. Oils help protect skin and add flexibility and shine to the fur. Grooming also allows you to notice changes like lumps, irritation, or parasites early. For many dogs, gentle grooming becomes a calming social routine. Dogs have skin microbiomes that differ by body area and environment, meaning different parts of the skin host different communities of microbes. This is normal and often helps maintain skin health. Changes in environment, bathing habits, and health can shift these microbial communities. A stable, healthy skin environment supports comfort and reduces itch. Skin allergies are common in dogs and can be triggered by environmental factors like pollen or dust, or by dietary sensitivities. When skin is itchy, dogs may lick, scratch, or rub, which can disrupt sleep and calmness. Managing allergies often improves behavior because comfort improves. Calmness is easier when the skin is not constantly irritating. Some dogs develop hotspots, which are localized areas of inflamed skin often worsened by licking and moisture. Once the skin is wet and irritated, it can become itchy, leading to more licking, which makes it worse. Hotspots are more common in humid conditions or under matted fur. Preventing persistent moisture and addressing itch early helps keep skin comfortable. Ear shape can influence airflow and moisture, which is why some dogs need more ear care than others. Floppy ears can reduce ventilation and allow humidity to linger, creating conditions where irritation can develop. Upright ears often get more airflow, though they aren't immune to problems. Gentle, appropriate care helps keep ears comfortable and reduces itch-driven restlessness. Nails that grow too long can affect a dog's gait and comfort because the foot and toes may not land naturally. Long nails can change posture, increase strain, and make walking less smooth. Over time, that discomfort can reduce willingness to exercise and can disturb rest. Regular trims support comfort and calm movement. Paw pad conditioning can change with terrain because pads can gradually toughen with gentle exposure. A dog that mostly walks on soft surfaces may have more sensitive pads than a dog that regularly walks on rougher ground. Conditioning should be gradual to avoid injury. Comfortable paws support confident walking and relaxed rest afterward. Dogs have a third eyelid called the nictitating membrane, which helps protect and moisten the eye. This structure can move across the eye to clear debris and spread tear film. It's part of the AI's built-in maintenance system. Healthy eye protection supports comfortable vision. Tear production helps wash away debris and supports corneal health, keeping the eye surface smooth and protected. Tears are not only for emotion, they are a practical cleaning and lubrication system. When tear balance is off, eyes can feel irritated, which can affect behavior and comfort. Healthy tear flow supports relaxed, normal blinking and calm expression. Dogs blink for lubrication, but blinking also appears in subtle social communication. A soft, normal blink can be part of a relaxed face, while a hard stare without blinking can signal tension. Dogs often respond to calm facial cues from people as well. In gentle interactions, relaxed blinking supports a calm atmosphere. Dogs can be trained to follow hand signals, which can be especially helpful for dogs with hearing loss as they age. Visual cues can replace or support verbal cues, making communication clear and less stressful. Hand signals also work well at a distance or in noisy environments. Clear signals help a dog feel confident and settled. Visual routines like the same leash, the same doorway, or the same spot to sit can become calming cues because they reduce uncertainty. When a dog recognizes a familiar sequence, it understands what is about to happen. This predictability lowers arousal and helps the dog stay calm. Routine cues can support smoother transitions into rest time. Dogs can learn to associate a specific bed or mat with relaxation through repeated reinforcement. When calm behavior on the mat is rewarded gently, the mat becomes a calm place in the dog's mind. Over time, simply going to the mat can shift the dog towards settling. This is a practical way to create a predictable resting habit. A familiar scent on bedding can increase comfort during rest because scent is a major cue for safety in dogs. Bedding that smells like the home or trusted people can reduce stress, especially in new places. This is why bringing familiar blankets can help during travel or transitions. Comfort often starts with familiar sensory signals. Some dogs prefer den-like spaces because enclosed areas reduce sensory input and feel protected. A small, cozy space can limit visual stimulation and make the dog feel less exposed. This preference is common in animals that value secure resting spots. When introduced positively, den spaces can be a reliable calm zone. Other dogs prefer open vantage points that allow them to monitor the room, which can also feel secure in a different way. Being able to see movement and entrances can reduce surprise and help the dog relax. This is not always guarding. Sometimes it's simply preference for awareness. Dogs choose comfort in the style that suits them. Curling up helps conserve body heat and can feel snug and protected, especially in cooler environments. The curled posture reduces exposed surface area and keeps warmth near the core. It can also protect the belly and vital areas. Many dogs naturally curl when they want warmth or a feeling of compact security. Stretching out can help a dog cool down and relax muscles by increasing surface contact with a cooler floor or bed. A stretched posture can also indicate the dog feels safe enough to take space. It allows joints and muscles to release tension. Dogs often switch between curling and stretching depending on temperature and comfort. Side sleeping often suggests a dog feels safe enough to expose the belly and relax deeply. This position reduces readiness to spring up instantly, so it's commonly chosen in secure environments. Side sleeping can also allow easier breathing and muscle relaxation. Many dogs choose it when the home is quiet and predictable. Dogs may change sleeping spots during the day to adjust to temperature shifts in the house. They may move to sunlight for warmth, then later to tile or shade for cooling. This is a simple way to regulate comfort without conscious planning. The dog is responding to body signals and environmental changes. Many dogs nap more after mentally demanding activity, not only after physical exercise, because learning uses energy too. Training, puzzle toys, and new environments can tire the brain in a satisfying way. After mental effort, the nervous system often seeks recovery time. That recovery often looks like deeper, longer naps. Calm, sniffing walks can be as tiring as brisk walks for some dogs because scent exploration requires sustained attention. The dog is processing information constantly, making decisions about where to sniff and what it means. This mental work can create a gentle, good, tired feeling. A slower, sniff-focused walk can be especially helpful for older dogs or dogs that need lower impact activity. Quiet companionship sharing a room without interaction can be soothing for social dogs. Some dogs relax best when they can sense their person nearby but don't have to engage. This kind of calm copresence supports safety without stimulation. Many dogs will nap more easily when they are simply not alone. Dogs use scent marking as a quiet way to communicate that they were present in a place and roughly when they passed through. When a dog leaves a scent mark, it can function like a time-stamped message that other dogs can read later without any direct meeting. This can reduce the need for face-to-face conflict because information can be exchanged asynchronously through smell. In many neighborhoods, A dog's walk is partly a routine of checking these scent messages and leaving updated ones. When dogs sniff another dog's urine, they can gather a surprising amount of biological and social information. Chemical cues can hint at sex, reproductive status, and individual identity, and sometimes even stress-related changes. This is why dogs can become intensely focused on a small spot that looks unimportant to a human. For the dog, that spot can contain a detailed story about who was there and what state they were in. Dogs often sniff faces and rear ends during greetings because those areas carry stronger chemical signals from glands and skin secretions. The face can provide fresh scent from breath, diet, and the environment, while the rear area can provide social and reproductive information. These greetings may look awkward to humans, but they are normal canine data gathering. When greetings are calm and unforced, this sniffing can help dogs feel more certain and less anxious. Dogs can recognize individual animals by scent even after long separations, which shows how durable and specific their odor memory can be. A dog may remember the unique chemical signature of another dog, person, or familiar animal and respond differently when that scent returns. This can explain why some reunions happen instantly, without hesitation. The recognition is often happening before any visual confirmation is complete. Many dogs develop scent routines, revisiting the same posts, corners, or patches of grass to update their information. The dog isn't being repetitive for no reason. They're checking a familiar information hub that regularly changes. It's similar to rechecking a place where messages are often left, because the newest scent tells the newest story. These routines can make a dog's walk feel organized and satisfying. Rolling in strong smells may be a leftover instinct that relates to scent camouflage or social messaging, depending on context. Some dogs roll after finding an especially intense odor, and afterward they may carry that smell on their coat. This can be puzzling for humans, but it reflects how meaningful scent can be to dogs. It's also one reason some dogs seem delighted by smells that people find unpleasant. Some dogs air scent with their noses held higher, while others track with noses closer to the ground, and this can depend on genetics, training, and the situation. Air scenting samples odor carried by wind cones, which can help locate a general source from a distance. Ground tracking focuses on scent left on surfaces, which can support following an exact path. Many dogs switch between the two styles as conditions change. Moisture in the air can help scent molecules linger closer to the ground, which can make odor trails easier for dogs to follow. In humid conditions, scents may remain detectable longer and spread in more continuous patterns. This can influence how confidently and quickly a dog tracks a smell. It's one reason scent-based work can feel different on a damp morning compared with a dry afternoon. Dry, hot conditions can make scents dissipate faster and break up odor trails, changing how difficult tracking becomes. Heat can increase air movement and reduce the stability of scent patterns, making the story more fragmented. Dogs may need to search wider and pause more often in these conditions. What looks like distraction can sometimes be the dog adjusting strategy to a harder scent environment. Detection dogs can be trained to identify specific target odors amid many background smells, which requires both sensory skill and learned focus. Training often teaches the dog that the target odor predicts a reward, so the dog becomes motivated to locate it precisely. Over time, the dog learns to ignore irrelevant scents that would normally be interesting. This is an example of training shaping natural sniffing into dependable, repeatable work. Some medical detection dogs are trained to alert to changes linked with seizures, low blood sugar, or other conditions by recognizing odor shifts associated with those states. The dog is not diagnosing in a human medical sense. It is responding to a trained scent pattern that tends to occur when the condition is present. The alert gives the person time to respond, seek support, or adjust treatment. It's a practical partnership, built on scent sensitivity and consistent training. Dogs have also been trained in research and clinical contexts to detect certain cancers by identifying odor changes associated with disease. This work generally involves controlled training and testing to measure how accurately dogs can discriminate samples. The underlying idea is that metabolic changes can alter volatile compounds that produce subtle odor differences. Even when results vary, it demonstrates how fine canine odor discrimination can be. Herding dogs often work by controlling space and movement rather than by physical contact. Their job is frequently to influence where animals go by applying pressure through posture, eye contact, and strategic movement. This requires intense focus and quick decision-making, often guided by subtle handler cues. The work shows how dogs can manage complex group dynamics through controlled behavior. Livestock guardian dogs are often shaped to bond with animals and patrol territory in a calm, steady way. Rather than chasing or herding, their role is often to remain present, discourage threats, and stay near the animals they protect. This can involve long hours of quiet vigilance with bursts of action only when needed. Their temperament is often described as composed and deliberate, fitting the demands of steady guardianship. Sled teams rely on social coordination and consistent cues under stress, which highlights dogs' ability to work cooperatively in demanding conditions. The dogs must manage pacing, follow direction, and respond to the team's movement as a unit. This cooperation is supported by training, trust, and clear communication. It's a form of group problem-solving that depends on both physical endurance and social stability. Water rescue dogs are trained for strong swimming, controlled approach, and calm interaction with people in distress. The dog must be comfortable in water, confident around waves or currents, and responsive to handler direction. Calmness matters because a panicked approach could be unsafe for both dog and person. This work demonstrates how training can blend bravery with steady behavior. Dogs can show problem solving by trying different actions when a goal is blocked, rather than repeating a single behavior endlessly. They may nudge, paw, reposition an object, or look to a human for help. This flexibility can be strengthened through gentle learning experiences that reward persistence without frustration. For many dogs, solving a small challenge is mentally tiring in a satisfying way. Many dogs use social referencing, meaning they look to a human's reaction to decide how to feel about something uncertain. If a person appears calm, the dog may relax. If the person is tense, the dog may become cautious. This shows how closely dogs attend to human emotional cues. It also means calm human behavior can help a dog cope with novelty more smoothly. Some dogs learn to fetch through shaping, first touching a toy, then lifting it, then carrying it, and finally delivering it reliably. Each step is reinforced, so the dog builds a clear chain of actions without confusion. This approach can make learning feel easy because the dog succeeds frequently. Over time, the behavior becomes smooth and automatic. Dogs can learn impulse control through games that reward waiting, which teaches that calm behavior can lead to good outcomes. Instead of grabbing immediately, the dog practices pausing, making eye contact, or staying still for a moment. This builds self-regulation, which can carry into other areas like greeting visitors or walking past distractions. A dog with stronger impulse control often finds it easier to settle. Snuffle mats and puzzle feeders can slow eating and add enrichment by turning a meal into a searching activity. The dog must use nose and problem-solving rather than simply gulping from a bowl. This can reduce boredom, support calmer digestion, and provide gentle mental work. For many dogs, this kind of feeding leaves them more content afterward. Gentle nosework games can boost confidence in shy dogs because the dog is doing something natural and controllable. Searching for a scent-based reward allows the dog to focus on the task rather than on worrying about the environment. Success builds a sense of competence, which can reduce overall anxiety. Over time, confident searching can generalize into more relaxed behavior in new settings. Dogs often enjoy choice-based enrichment like choosing between 2 toys or 2 roots pick. It increases a sense of control. Having small choices can reduce frustration and improve engagement with the environment. It also helps you learn what the dog genuinely prefers, which supports motivation and comfort. When a dog feels it has some control, settling can become easier. Predictable cues reduce uncertainty and can lower stress behaviors because the dog learns what signals mean and what will happen next. Clear cues for walk time, feeding time, and quiet time can prevent constant guessing. This reduces the dog's need to stay watchful and reactive. Predictability acts like a calm framework that supports steady emotions. Clear, consistent boundaries help many dogs relax because the rules become stable and understandable. When expectations change randomly, dogs often become uncertain and more vigilant. When expectations are steady, dogs don't have to test constantly to find out what is allowed. That clarity can reduce conflict and support calm household behavior. Play remains important for adult dogs, not only puppies, because it supports social bonding, movement, and stress release. Adult play can be calmer than puppy play, but it still provides mental and physical engagement. Play also helps maintain flexibility and coordination. When play is balanced, it often ends with a pleasant tiredness and natural rest. Social play often includes pauses, role reversals, and self-handicapping, which help keep play friendly and prevent escalation. Dogs may take turns chasing and being chased, or they may pause to reset arousal levels. These patterns show that play has rules, even when it looks chaotic. Healthy play tends to look bouncy, loose, and cooperative. Tug can be healthy play when rules are clear and arousal is managed, because it allows controlled exertion and engagement. Many dogs enjoy the resistance and the shared interaction with a person. Good tug play includes pauses, a safe grip area, and an all-done cue so the dog can settle afterward. When managed well, tug becomes stimulating without becoming overwhelming. Fetch can be enriching, but repetitive high-impact throws can strain joints in some dogs, especially if the dog is doing sharp turns or jumping constantly. The excitement of chasing can mask fatigue, so dogs may keep going past their safe limits. Varying the game with shorter throws, rolling the ball, or mixing in sniff breaks can reduce strain. Balanced play supports long-term comfort and calmer recovery. Many dogs benefit from low-impact play like scent games as they age because it engages the mind without putting heavy stress on joints. Older dogs can still enjoy novelty, searching, and small problem-solving tasks. This keeps the day interesting while respecting physical limits. For many seniors, mental enrichment can be the most comfortable form of play. Chew time can act like a wind-down ritual for some dogs because chewing is rhythmic and self-regulating. A safe chew gives the dog a structured activity that can lower restlessness. For many dogs, chewing after dinner becomes a predictable transition into calmer evening behavior. When chewing needs are met, many dogs settle more smoothly afterward. Licking can provide soothing feedback for many dogs, which is why lick mats can be calming for some individuals. The repeated licking motion can reduce arousal and provide a steady focus point. It can also slow down treat consumption, extending the calming activity. Like all enrichment, it works best when matched to the dog's preference and used safely. Some dogs prefer solo play, while others prefer interactive play, reflecting individual personality and social style. A solo player might be happy with a chew or a puzzle toy, while a social player might want tug or gentle fetch with a person. Recognizing this preference helps you meet the dog's needs without overstimulating them. When play style matches preference, dogs often look more relaxed afterward. Overstimulation can look like frantic movement, jumping, or nipping, and it often means the dog's arousal level is too high to think calmly. This can happen with intense play, too much noise, or crowded social situations. Introducing pauses like a brief settle, a sniff break, or a calm cue helps the nervous system come down. Many dogs benefit from learning that breaks are part of fun. Calm play sessions often end with spontaneous rest because the dog's needs were met without pushing into overwhelm. When play includes pauses, gentle intensity, and clear endings, the dog can transition smoothly into relaxation. You may see the dog choose a bed, sigh, and settle without pacing. This pattern is a good sign that play is supporting well-being rather than creating stress. Dogs can form multi-species friendships with animals like cats, rabbits, or birds when introductions are careful and safety is prioritized. Gradual exposure helps each animal learn that the other is not a threat. Over time, shared routines and calm boundaries can create peaceful coexistence. These relationships show how flexible canine social behavior can be. Early socialization helps puppies learn what is normal and safe in human environments, which supports confidence later in life. Socialization is not just meeting many beings. It includes exposure to sounds, surfaces, objects, and gentle handling. The goal is to create positive or neutral experiences that reduce fear responses. A well-socialized dog often rests more easily because the world feels less threatening. Socialization works best when it is about positive experiences rather than forced exposure, because fear learning can be powerful and long-lasting. If a puppy is overwhelmed, the experience may teach avoidance rather than confidence. Gentle pacing, treats, and the ability to retreat help the puppy feel in control. This builds a calmer foundation for adult behavior. Dogs can learn to coexist peacefully with other dogs even if they don't enjoy direct play, and that is a valid social outcome. Not every dog wants to wrestle or chase, but many can share space calmly with polite boundaries. Teaching calm proximity walking together, resting in the same room can be enough. Peaceful coexistence often supports a calmer home. Many dogs prefer parallel walking over face-to-face greetings because it reduces social pressure and allows gradual scent sampling. Walking side by side gives dogs time to adjust to each other's presence while staying in motion. This often leads to calmer interaction than a direct, tight greeting. It's a practical approach for building comfort between unfamiliar dogs. Sniffing before greeting can reduce tension because it gives dogs information first, which lowers uncertainty. When a dog has had time to gather scent cues, the other dog becomes less of a mystery. This can reduce reactive behavior that is driven by surprise. Allowing controlled sniffing is often a simple way to support calmer meetings. Leash tension can change body language and make greetings harder because it restricts movement and can create a feeling of pressure. A tight leash may pull the dog's body forward, signaling intensity even if the dog is not intending it. Looser leashes allow more natural posture and smoother retreat if needed. Calm, slack leash handling often supports calmer greetings. Short, positive greetings can reduce the chance of escalation for many dogs because they prevent arousal from building too high. A brief sniff and then moving on can be more comfortable than lingering. If both dogs remain loose and relaxed, the greeting can be repeated later. Keeping greetings short helps protect calmness. Familiar play partners often show smoother, more relaxed play than strangers because they have learned each other's style. They know how rough is acceptable, how to pause, and how to repair small misunderstandings quickly. This familiarity reduces the need for constant negotiation. As a result, play can look more balanced and end more calmly. Dogs sometimes mirror each other's calmness, lying down when the other settles, because social animals often match group energy. When one dog relaxes, it can signal that the environment is safe enough to rest. This effect can also happen with humans. When the home becomes quiet, many dogs follow. Calm can be socially contagious in a stable group. A dog's nose often has a textured pattern of ridges and grooves that can be unique to that individual, a bit like a natural signature. When you look closely, the surface isn't smooth, has tiny shapes that can differ from dog to dog. Because dogs use their noses constantly, this pattern is part of a living, working surface, not just a static mark. The idea of uniqueness comes from how these tiny ridges form and remain relatively consistent over time. Researchers have explored whether nose prints could be used for automated identification, treating the nose pattern as a kind of biometric feature. In this approach, images of a dog's nose are analyzed to see if software can match the pattern to a specific dog. The goal is similar to other identification systems. Find stable features that distinguish one individual from another. This work shows that a dog's nose surface can be detailed enough to be measured and compared in structured ways. Some organizations and sources describe nose prints as potentially unique identifiers, but the way this is presented can vary, and popular claims don't always explain the limits. The core idea is that the nose texture can be distinctive, yet the confidence of the claim depends on how carefully it has been tested. Differences in photography, nose moisture, and angle can affect what a print looks like. So while the concept is promising, it's often discussed with different levels of certainty, depending on who is describing it. Dogs leave scent traces through their paw pads, partly because the pads contain glands, and the skin naturally releases subtle secretions. As they walk, their feet contact surfaces and can transfer faint chemical signals. This means a dog's path can carry scent information even if the dog never stops to mark intentionally. It's one more way dogs write information into the environment without any visible sign. Dogs can also deposit scent from glands around the paws simply through normal movement, making walking itself a form of scent communication. Each step can leave tiny amounts of odor that other dogs may detect later. This helps explain why some dogs sniff the ground intensely in places that look completely ordinary to humans. For a dog, the ground can hold layered messages for many feet that passed through. Nose moisture can change with environment and hydration, and a wet or dry nose by itself isn't a reliable health indicator. A dog's nose may be drier after sleeping, warmer weather, or time spent indoors with dry air. It may become wetter after drinking, licking, or sniffing in humid conditions. Because normal variation is common, overall behavior, appetite, and energy are usually more meaningful than nose moisture alone. Dogs often lick their noses to redistribute moisture and to help gather odor particles more effectively. The licking can keep the nose surface in a condition that supports scent capture because moisture can help hold scent molecules. It can also move odor compounds towards sensory pathways used for processing chemical information. In many cases, nose licking is simply part of an active sensing routine, not a sign of distress. A dog's sense of smell can help it locate hidden treats, even when they're under objects or tucked into grass, because scent can travel through tiny gaps and cling to surfaces. Dogs can follow faint odor trails that humans cannot detect at all. This is why simple games like hiding food under cups or in folded blankets can be genuinely engaging for them. The dog isn't guessing randomly, it's carefully sampling the air and surfaces to narrow down the source. Many dogs can follow a person's path by tracking scent left on the ground, even after the person has moved on. Footsteps can disturb the ground and leave skin cells, odor traces, and crushed vegetation that changes the scent pattern. Dogs can use these clues like a map, especially when they are allowed to move slowly and investigate. What looks like wandering is often a deliberate process of checking and confirming a trail. Allowing a dog to sniff during walks can reduce frustration because sniffing meets a major natural need and gives the dog control over part of the experience. When a dog is constantly rushed, it may feel like it's missing important information, which can increase pulling or restlessness. Sniffing is mentally satisfying, and satisfaction often leads to calmer behavior afterward. For many dogs, a sniff walk is not less productive than exercises, a different kind of work. Dogs often have strong associative memory for places where good things happened, such as a park where they played, or a street where they regularly met friendly people. This memory can show up as excitement when approaching a familiar route or a specific doorway. The association is built through repetition. The place predicts the positive experience. Over time, these place memories can shape a dog's preferences and routines. Many dogs learn specific household sound cues, like a cabinet opening that predicts food or a leash clip that predicts a walk. These cues become meaningful because they reliably come before a valued event. The dog's brain links sound to outcome, which can raise anticipation instantly. This is why a quiet household noise that means nothing to humans can be a powerful signal for a dog. Dogs can learn to relax to a cue such as settle when it is trained gradually and rewarded, turning calm behavior into a skill rather than an accident. Training usually starts in a low distraction setting where the dog can succeed easily. Over time, the cue becomes a clear message. This is the moment to soften and rest. When practiced consistently, many dogs begin to relax faster because they understand what is being asked and what calmness leads to. Some dogs benefit from calm music, white noise, or a fan because steady sound can mask sudden noises that would otherwise startle them. The constant background noise makes unpredictable sounds less sharp and less noticeable. This can be especially helpful in busy buildings or neighborhoods where random sounds happen at night. For certain dogs, sound masking supports deeper rest by reducing the need to keep checking every small change. Soft lighting in the evening can signal rest time when it is paired with routine because dogs learn patterns in the environment. Dimmer light often comes with quieter activity, slower movement, and bedtime steps like a final walk. Over time, the dog may start relaxing as soon as the lighting changes because it predicts calmness. This is not magic, it's association and rhythm. Gentle massage can relax some dogs by loosening muscles and encouraging slower breathing, but preference matters a lot. Some dogs enjoy steady pressure on shoulders or hips, while others dislike being handled when they are trying to rest. The same touch that soothes one dog can irritate another. Paying attention to signals, leaning in, soft eyes, relaxed posture helps ensure massage remains calming rather than stressful. Dogs often prefer consistent sleeping locations because familiar spots carry familiar scents, temperatures, and expectations, yet they may change spots if noise or temperature shifts. A sunny patch may be perfect in the morning and uncomfortable later. A corner that feels quiet during the day might become noisy at night. Moving to a new spot can be a simple comfort adjustment, not a sign that the dog is unsettled. A crate can function like a safe den if it is introduced gradually and positively, allowing the dog to choose it rather than be forced. When the crate becomes associated with calm, treats, and rest, it can feel like a private space. This can reduce overstimulation in busy homes and support predictable sleep. The key is that the dog learns the crate is a comfort zone, not a punishment. Many dogs feel calmer at bedtime when they have something appropriate to do, like working on a long-lasting chew. Chewing provides a rhythmic activity that can lower arousal and reduce restlessness. It also meets a natural behavioral need that doesn't require running or barking. When chewing ends, many dogs transition smoothly into resting because the body has already shifted into a calmer state. Reducing late-night high-energy play can improve settling for excitable dogs because intense activity close to bedtime keeps adrenaline and alertness high. A dog may look tired yet remain wired, pacing or seeking stimulation. Earlier play followed by a calmer routine like sniffing, gentle training, or quiet chewing often supports better rest. Timing matters, and many dogs do best when the final hour of the day is predictably quiet. Dogs can show empathy-like responses by approaching people who appear distressed, staying close, or changing behavior when a human's emotional state shifts. This doesn't require the dog to understand human problems in a complex way. Instead, the dog may notice cues like crying, posture, voice tone, or stillness and respond with proximity. For many dogs, staying close is a natural way to offer connection and seek reassurance at the same time. Dogs may use touch such as leaning, nudging, or gently pawing as a way to seek comfort or to offer social contact. Touch can function like a check-in. Are we okay? Or I'm here with you. Some dogs are more tactile than others, but in calm relationships, touch often becomes a quiet language. Where a dog uses soft, non-demanding touch, it commonly signals trust. Calm eye contact and relaxed human posture can encourage calmness in many dogs, because dogs often mirror the emotional cues they read from people. When a person moves slowly, speaks gently, and keeps their body loose, the dog receives fewer signals of urgency or threat. This can lower the dog's arousal level and help them settle. In daily life, calm humans often create calmer dogs without needing to do much. Harsh or unpredictable handling can increase vigilance and reduce restful behavior because the dog learns that human contact may bring surprise or discomfort. Vigilance means the dog stays on alert, watching for what might happen next. Even if the environment is otherwise safe, unpredictability can keep the nervous system activated. Consistent, respectful interaction supports the opposite: relaxation and trust. Many dogs, especially timid ones, prefer slow, predictable movements from people because fast or sudden motion can feel like a threat. Approaching calmly, turning the body slightly sideways, and giving space can make the interaction easier. Predictability allows the dog to process what is happening without panic. When humans move gently, many dogs relax more quickly and show fewer stress signals. Allowing a dog to approach on its own time can reduce fear responses because choice increases confidence. When a dog can decide distance and timing, it learns that it can stay safe without needing to bark or retreat dramatically. This builds trust in the environment and in the person. Over time, a dog that is allowed to approach voluntarily often becomes more social and relaxed. Dogs often prefer being petted on the chest or side, rather than directly on top of the head, because head pats can feel intrusive, especially from unfamiliar people. The chest and side are areas where many dogs tolerate touch more comfortably. Preference still varies, but gentle, low-pressure contact tends to be easier for dogs to accept. Choosing a comfortable touch spot helps keep the dog's body language soft. A relaxed dog often has loose facial muscles, soft ears, and an easy tail carriage, creating an overall impression of nothing is urgent. The eyes may look gentle rather than wide, and the mouth may hang slightly open without tension. The body weight is usually balanced instead of leaning forward stiffly. These signs are useful because they show comfort before the dog even lies down. Whale eye, where the whites of the eye become visible, can indicate discomfort because the dog is turning the head away while still watching closely. It often appears when a dog feels pressured or uncertain. Respecting this signal by giving space or reducing intensity can prevent escalation. When the dog learns its signals are heard, it often relaxes more easily in future interactions. A dog turning its head away can be a polite request for space, a calming signal that reduces tension. It can mean, "I'm not challenging you," or "I'd like this to slow down." Dogs use small movements like this to avoid conflict. Responding by softening your own posture often helps the dog stay calm and feel safe. Many dogs enjoy gentle grooming because it can feel like social contact and can reduce itch by removing loose hair and debris. When grooming is calm and the dog is comfortable, it can function like a soothing routine. Some dogs even become sleepy during slow brushing. Grooming also helps prevent tangles that can pull the skin and create irritation. Brush choice matters because the wrong brush can pull the coat, scratch the skin, or tug on tangles in a way that feels unpleasant. A dog that dislikes grooming may simply dislike the sensation of the tool being used. Using an appropriate brush for coat type often makes the experience smoother and calmer. Comfort during grooming supports trust and reduces avoidance behaviors. Regular nail trims can prevent splaying toes and improve comfort, because nails that are too long can change how the foot contacts the ground. When nails force the toes into unnatural angles, posture and gait can shift. Over time, this can create strain that affects how willing a dog is to walk and play. Comfortable feet support comfortable movement, which supports better rest. Paw balm can help in harsh weather by reducing cracking of pads, especially in cold, dry air or on salty, rough surfaces. Cracked pads can be painful, leading to licking, limping, or reluctance to walk. Protecting the pads helps the dog stay comfortable and active. Comfort in the paws often shows up as calmer, more confident movement. Some dogs benefit from raised bowls, while others do fine with floor bowls, because posture and comfort needs vary. Height can affect how a dog swallows, how the neck and shoulders align, and how stable the dog feels while eating. What helps one dog may not help another. Observing comfort-smooth eating, calm posture. No coughing often guides what works best. Slow feeders can reduce gulping and help prevent digestive discomfort in fast eaters by forcing the dog to take smaller bites. Slower eating can reduce swallowed air, which may reduce bloating sensations or post-meal discomfort. It also turns eating into a mild problem-solving task, adding enrichment. A calmer meal often leads to a calmer post-meal rest. Fresh water access influences thermoregulation and digestion because the body needs water to cool efficiently and to process food smoothly. Hydration supports circulation, which moves heat and nutrients throughout the body. It also supports normal gut function and stool consistency. When water is available and the dog drinks comfortably, many body systems work with less strain. Routine veterinary checks can catch issues that disturb rest, such as dental pain, arthritis, skin irritation, or ear discomfort. Dogs often hide pain quietly, showing only subtle changes, like restless sleep or reduced play. Early detection can prevent small problems from becoming chronic discomfort. Comfort is one of the biggest foundations of calm behavior and good sleep. Joint-friendly, low-impact activity can reduce stiffness and improve sleep in many older dogs because gentle movement keeps joints lubricated and muscles engaged. Long periods of inactivity can increase stiffness, making it harder to settle comfortably. Short, consistent walks and controlled play often help more than occasional intense exercise. When the body feels better, the dog often rests more peacefully. Weight management supports easier breathing and movement, which can improve restfulness because the dog's body works with less effort. Extra weight can increase strain on joints and can make cooling less efficient. It can also affect endurance, making daily activity harder. When a dog is at a healthy weight, many everyday actions feel easier and comfort tends to improve. Dogs' REM sleep patterns and small twitching movements suggest dreamlike processing, because the brain becomes active while the body remains mostly still. In this stage, the nervous system may be organizing memory and learning. Tiny movements like paw flicks can happen even though the dog remains asleep. This is a normal part of sleep architecture and often indicates the dog is in a deeper, more complex sleep stage. Many dogs wake, reposition, and resettle several times per night, which is a normal pattern rather than a sign of poor sleep. They may change posture to relieve pressure on joints or adjust to temperature. These brief awakenings are usually short and quiet. In a safe environment, dogs often return to sleep quickly after shifting. Dogs often sleep more after new experiences because novelty and learning can be tiring in a healthy way. The brain uses energy when processing unfamiliar sights, sounds, and smells. After a day with training, visitors, travel, or a new route, many dogs need extra recovery time. This extra sleep supports memory consolidation and emotional regulation. A dog's startle response tends to be lower when it feels secure in its space because safety reduces the need for constant vigilance. In a stable environment, the dog learns that most sounds and movements are normal. This learning softens the nervous system's alarm setting. Over time, security can turn quick alerts into brief checks, and then calm resettling. Familiar scents can reduce stress in unfamiliar environments, such as during travel or a move, because scent is a powerful safety cue for dogs. A blanket that smells like home can signal this is safe even in a new room. This can reduce pacing and improve the ability to rest. Familiar smell provides continuity when everything else has changed. Familiar scents can reduce stress in unfamiliar environments, such as during travel or a move, because scent is a powerful safety cue for dogs. A blanket that smells like home can signal this is safe even in a new room. This can reduce pacing and improve the ability to rest. Familiar smell provides continuity when everything else has changed. Some dogs prefer sleeping near a doorway because it allows them to monitor movement in and out of the space without needing to patrol. This position can feel strategic and comfortable, especially for dogs that like awareness. It doesn't always mean guarding it can simply be a resting choice that reduces surprise. When the dog can see what is happening, it may relax more easily. Other dogs prefer sleeping near family members because close proximity supports social comfort and reduces uncertainty. Being near trusted people can stabilize the dog's emotions, especially in quiet hours. The dog can hear breathing, subtle movement, and familiar sounds that signal safety. For many dogs, closeness is the most calming environmental feature available. Dogs can become more relaxed when they have predictable quiet hours each day because the nervous system benefits from regular downshifts. Quiet hours can include dimmer lighting, less noise, and fewer demands. Over time, the dog learns that this period is for resting, not for excitement. Regular calm windows often reduce overall stress and support better sleep. Gentle evening walks can help some dogs settle because they provide mental decompression through sniffing and slow movement. Rather than being a high-energy workout, a calm walk lets the dog process the day's scents and release mild restlessness. The combination of gentle activity and sensory engagement can lead to a pleasant tiredness. After returning home, many dogs transition more smoothly into quiet behavior. Many dogs naturally match the household's sleeping schedule when their daytime needs are met, because they adapt to the group's rhythm. When dogs receive enough movement, enrichment, and social contact, they often have less reason to stay restless at night. They learn that nighttime is quiet time, and daytime is for activity. In a stable routine, this alignment can become very consistent. Dogs can learn to differentiate between the unique sounds of family members' footsteps because sound patterns like pace, weight shift, and rhythm become familiar cues. Over time, a dog may react differently to each person approaching, perhaps lifting its head for one person, staying relaxed for another, or moving toward the door for someone who usually takes them out. This kind of recognition is built through repeated daily experience. It shows how closely dogs pay attention to the small, regular patterns inside a home. Some dogs learn the names of different toys and can fetch specific ones when asked, which requires them to match a sound pattern to a particular object. That skill involves memory, discrimination, and practice, because the dog has to tell objects apart, even when they are scattered together. Dogs often learn best when each toy has a distinct shape or texture and when training stays consistent. For the dog, this becomes a calm, satisfying way to understand and respond to human language. Dogs can learn to wait at thresholds, like a doorway or gate, which reduces impulsive dashing and encourages calmer movement through the home. Waiting teaches the dog that pausing can lead to good outcomes, like being allowed to go outside or receiving praise. Over time, this habit can lower overall household arousal because transitions become less frantic. A dog that waits calmly often finds it easier to settle afterward, because the nervous system practices self-control regularly. Scent games can be done indoors, which makes them useful during bad weather or on days when outdoor activity is limited. Hiding treats in towels, boxes, or simple containers encourages a dog to use its strongest sense in a controlled way. This kind of searching engages the brain without requiring intense running or jumping. Many dogs finish scent games looking calmly satisfied, as if their curiosity has been gently and completely used. A scatter feed, while kibble is tossed across grass or a safe surface, encourages natural foraging behavior and slows down eating. Instead of gulping from a bowl, the dog must sniff, search, and collect pieces one by one. This adds mental work and can reduce frustration in dogs that eat too quickly. It also turns a routine meal into a calm, engaging activity that often leaves the dog more settled afterward. Calm training can include mat work, where a dog learns that staying on a mat is rewarding and safe. At first, the mat becomes interesting because good things happen there: treats, praise, and quiet time. Over time, the mat becomes a familiar signal for settling, even when the environment is mildly distracting. This creates a portable, calm place that supports relaxation in different rooms or situations. Dogs often relax faster when they can predict what a cue means and what reward follows, because certainty reduces mental tension. When communication is clear, the dog spends less energy guessing and more energy calmly responding. This predictability builds confidence, and confidence supports calmness. Over time, a well-understood cue can feel like a gentle instruction the dog trusts. Short, frequent reinforcement of calm behavior can build a real habit of settling, because the dog learns that quietness is noticed and valued. Instead of only reacting to hyperactivity, the human begins to reward the moments of peace, lying down, soft breathing, relaxed posture. These small reinforcements add up, making calmness more likely to appear on its own. A dog that is consistently rewarded for calm choices often becomes naturally easier to live with. Teaching a dog to accept gentle handling of ears, paws, and mouth can reduce stress during grooming and vet care, because the dog learns what touch feels like and that it will end safely. This is often done slowly, pairing small touches with rewards and stopping before the dog becomes overwhelmed. Over time, the dog develops tolerance and sometimes even comfort with these routines. Reduced handling stress supports overall calmness and can improve rest because fewer daily interactions feel threatening. Cooperative care training gives dogs more agency, which can lower fear responses over time. Instead of being restrained and enduring procedures, the dog learns to participate, offering a paw, holding still briefly, or positioning their body, often with clear start and stop cues. When a dog understands it can opt out, and the person will respect that, trust grows. That trust can make grooming and medical care smoother, which supports a calmer life overall. Dogs show individual personality traits such as boldness, sociability, and sensitivity to noise, and these differences can be stable across time. One dog may be adventurous and curious, another may be cautious and thoughtful, and both can be perfectly healthy. Personality affects what kind of enrichment a dog enjoys and what kind of environment helps them relax. Recognizing personality is often the first step in creating calm routines that truly fit the individual. Breed tendencies exist because dogs were shaped for certain roles, but individual upbringing and experience can override stereotypes. Two dogs of the same breed can still differ widely in energy level, social confidence, and preferences for touch or play. Early environment, training style, and daily routine can influence behavior just as strongly as genetics. Seeing the individual dog clearly often leads to better comfort and more peaceful habits. Barely positive experiences with different surfaces like carpet, tile, grass, and gravel can reduce later hesitancy because the puppy learns those textures are safe. Surface confidence matters more than it seems because uncertainty about footing can increase stress and avoidance. When exposure is gentle and paired with good outcomes, the dog builds a calm library of normal experiences. That calm familiarity supports smoother movement and steadier behavior later in life. Puppies explore with their mouths, and providing safe chew options prevents unwanted chewing by meeting a natural need. Mouth exploration helps puppies learn texture, pressure, and object boundaries, and it also supports teething comfort. When safe chews are always available, puppies practice appropriate outlets instead of improvising with furniture or cords. This reduces conflict and supports a calmer household rhythm. Adolescent dogs often test boundaries because brain development and impulse control are still maturing during that stage. This period can include bursts of energy, sudden distractibility, and selective listening, even in dogs that were previously easy. Consistent routines and clear reinforcement help adolescents learn stability without fear. With time, most dogs settle into adulthood with improved self-regulation. Calm adult dogs often succeed because their needs are met consistently, not because they are forced into stillness. When a dog receives enough movement, mental engagement, and predictable downtime, calmness becomes a natural outcome. Meeting needs prevents the restless behaviors that come from frustration or boredom. In many cases, calm behavior is less a personality miracle and more a result of steady care. Many behavior problems improve when mental enrichment increases because the dog has a healthier outlet for curiosity and energy. Dogs are problem solvers by nature, and when their brains are underused, they may create their own activities: barking, digging, chewing, or pacing. Enrichment channels that energy into safe tasks with clear endings. After satisfying mental work, many dogs rest more deeply and appear more emotionally balanced. Avoiding punishment for fear responses helps prevent escalation and builds trust, because fear is an emotion rather than a deliberate choice. When a scared dog is punished, the dog may become more anxious and less predictable. When a scared dog is guided gently and given space, the dog learns that fear signals are heard and respected. That sense of safety often reduces fear over time and supports calmer, more relaxed behavior. Gentle, consistent reinforcement often produces more reliable behavior than intimidation, because learning happens best when the dog feels safe. Intimidation can suppress behavior temporarily, while increasing stress internally. Calm reinforcement teaches the dog what to do instead, building confidence and clarity. A dog that understands how to succeed tends to relax more easily in daily life. A relaxed dog commonly shows a natural breathing rhythm, soft posture, and easy gaze, which reflects a nervous system that is not on high alert. Muscles appear loose rather than braced, and movement slows down without tension. The dog may look around calmly instead of scanning sharply. These signs often appear when the environment is predictable and the dog feels secure. Dogs can share space peacefully with minimal interaction, and this is a valid social style rather than a problem. Some dogs prefer being near others without engaging in play or constant touch. Peaceful co-presence can look like parallel resting, quiet sniffing, or simply being in the same room. This gentle companionship often supports relaxation for dogs that do not enjoy high-energy social demands. Some dogs prefer quiet companionship over high-energy play, choosing calm closeness instead of constant stimulation. They may enjoy sitting near a person, following them from room to room, or resting at their feet. For these dogs, peaceful routines are more satisfying than intense games. Recognizing this preference helps create a home life that feels steady rather than overwhelming. Many dogs enjoy predictable bedtime rituals, like a final potty break and a calm settle on a familiar bed, because repetition signals safety. When the sequence is consistent, the dog can anticipate what comes next and relax before it happens. Bedtime rituals often reduce nighttime restlessness, especially in excitable dogs. Over time, the ritual itself becomes a cue that the day is slowing down. Warmth preference varies between dogs, so some seek blankets and warm corners, while others avoid extra warmth. Coat type, body size, and individual comfort all influence what feels best. A dog that runs warm may sprawl on cool tile, while a dog that chills easily may curl tightly under a soft cover. Offering options allows the dog to regulate comfort without stress. Dogs often choose sleeping spots based on air currents, such as resting near vents, away from drafts, or in areas with gentle airflow. Airflow can help cooling and can also influence how comfortable a space feels for breathing. Some dogs move to follow the most comfortable air pattern as conditions change throughout the day. This choice is often practical rather than emotional. Gentle pressure, like a snug bed bolster or a supportive side cushion, can feel stabilizing to some dogs by providing a sense of boundary. That pressure can reduce the feeling of being exposed and can help the body settle into one position. Some dogs sleep more deeply when they can lean into a supportive edge. Comfort often comes from a balance of softness and structure. Overly soft beds can be less supportive for some dogs because the body may sink too deeply and strain joints or spine alignment. A bed that is too plush can make it harder for a dog to find a stable position, leading to more shifting and less restful sleep. Medium support often allows muscles to relax more fully. The best bed is the one that helps the dog settle with fewer adjustments. Elevated beds can increase airflow under the body and help cooling in warm climates, while also keeping the dog off cold or damp floors when needed. The raised surface can reduce pressure on some joints and create a firmer, more supportive platform. Many dogs enjoy the gentle stability of an elevated cot-style bed. Choosing an elevated option can be a simple way to improve comfort during hotter seasons. Quiet chew time can reduce restlessness by satisfying a natural need to gnaw, and by giving the dog a steady, rhythmic activity. Chewing can lower arousal and help some dogs transition from activity into rest. When the chew is safe and appropriate, it becomes a calm focus point that doesn't require running or barking. Many dogs naturally settle after finishing a chew because their body has already slowed down. A dog that can relax alone for short periods often does better overall because independence reduces stress when humans are busy or briefly away. Learning to be calm alone is not about isolation. It's about building comfort with quiet time. Small, step-short separations paired with safe enrichment help the dog learn that alone time is predictable and safe. This skill supports steadier sleep and fewer anxiety-driven behaviors. Positive reinforcement training can help build confidence in fearful dogs without forcing exposure, because it creates safe, controllable learning experiences. Instead of pushing the dog into scary situations, training rewards small, brave steps and allows the dog to retreat when needed. Over time, this builds trust and reduces the intensity of fear responses. Confidence gained through gentle reinforcement often leads to calmer daily routines. Calm social interactions with stable dogs can teach better coping through modeling, because dogs learn a lot by observing. A steady dog that responds calmly to noises, visitors, or new places can provide a reassuring example. When the fearful dog sees that nothing bad happens, the nervous system can soften. Carefully chosen social exposure can support relaxation rather than overwhelm. Routine and enrichment often reduce nighttime pacing and vocalizing, because many nighttime behaviors are rooted in unmet needs or unsettled arousal. When a dog has enough daytime engagement and a predictable evening wind-down, the body is more prepared for rest. Pacing often decreases when the dog knows bedtime is consistent and safe. A calm day tends to produce a calmer night. Pain can disrupt sleep, so addressing discomfort is an important step when rest changes suddenly. A dog in pain may reposition frequently, pant when it should be calm, or avoid certain sleeping positions. Pain can also change mood, leading to irritability or clinginess. When discomfort is treated appropriately, many dogs return to steadier rest patterns. Sudden changes in thirst, breathing, or nighttime behavior can warrant veterinary advice, because shifts like these may reflect an underlying health change. Dogs often communicate discomfort through subtle behavior rather than obvious signs. Early evaluation can prevent prolonged distress and protect well-being. When health is stable, calmness becomes easier to maintain. Dogs have been shaped by humans into an unusually wide range of sizes and coat types, which is one reason they fit into so many different homes and roles. From tiny companions to large working dogs, their diversity reflects long periods of human selection. This variety also means comfort needs differ widely: temperature tolerance, activity needs, and grooming requirements. Understanding the individual dog's design helps create a calmer lifestyle. A dog's daily life is enriched by small choices, such as which route to sniff, which toy to chew, or where to nap. These choices might seem minor, but they give the dog a sense of control and reduce frustration. Choice supports engagement without forcing high intensity. A dog with gentle daily choice often settles more easily because life feels less restrictive. Dogs can thrive on simple, consistent care: food, fresh water, safe space, movement, and social connection. When these basics are met reliably, many behavior issues soften because the dog's nervous system doesn't need to stay on alert. Consistency supports trust, and trust supports calmness. Many dogs don't need complexity, they need steadiness. Because dogs rely heavily on smell, a short sniff session can feel like reading the local news of the neighborhood. Each scent layer carries information about what changed, who passed by, and how recent it was. This can satisfy curiosity and reduce the restless feeling of missing information. Even brief sniff time can create a calm, contented fatigue. Gentle, slow breathing by humans can sometimes influence a dog's arousal level through shared calm routines. Dogs are sensitive to body cues like movement speed, posture, and rhythm. When a person settles and breathes slowly, the environment often becomes quieter and more predictable. Many dogs respond by softening their own breathing and posture. Many dogs rest best when they get both physical movement and mental engagement during the day. Exercise supports the body, while enrichment supports the brain, and together they create balanced tiredness. Without mental engagement, a dog may remain restless even after a walk. With both needs met, settling often becomes natural. Small acts like providing a clean bed and a quiet corner can significantly improve a dog's ability to relax, because comfort and safety start with the environment. A clean, supportive space reduces irritation and gives the dog a reliable place to decompress. Quiet corners reduce sensory overload from constant activity. When a dog knows it has a dependable resting spot, it often uses it more. Dogs often show relaxed affection through proximity, soft eye contact, and slow tail movement rather than constant activity. Their calm presence is often a sign of deep trust, not boredom. They may choose to rest near you simply because the shared space feels secure. This quiet closeness is one of the most common ways dogs communicate comfort. A well-matched enrichment plan can reduce stress behaviors and increase calm resting time, because the dog's needs are being met in a structured, healthy way. When enrichment fits the dog's age, personality, and physical comfort, it creates satisfaction without overload. The dog becomes less likely to seek stimulation through anxious behaviors. Over time, the home feels calmer because the dog feels calmer. Across cultures and centuries, dogs have remained closely tied to human daily life, largely because their social flexibility fits many environments. They can adapt to different routines, learn human signals, and bond strongly with people. This flexibility allows them to thrive in households, farms, and working teams alike. Their long partnership with humans is built on cooperation and connection. As the day grows quieter, it can be comforting to remember that dogs are designed for rhythms, activity and rest, curiosity and calm, closeness and independence. When their world is steady and their needs are met with gentle consistency, many dogs naturally settle into peaceful patterns of breathing, stretching, and sleep. And in that steady simplicity, there is something reassuring. A calm animal, safe in its space, letting the night be just a place to rest.